Guys, welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. So today I'm going to talk about your broke friends and why broke people actually give the best financial advice. So get comfortable, buckle up a seatbelt, hit the thumbs up button. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say hello to everybody. Good morning. And I also do a segment called Money in the Morning with Dr. Boyce. And so since it's early in the morning when I'm going live, those of you that are here live with me, I want to commend you for being the kind of hustler that gets up early. That is the key to success. And also, I want to do a quick audio check. Give me a yes if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Also, this podcast is on Spotify. So if you happen to have Spotify, then you can find me. Just look up the Dr. Boyce Breakdown on Spotify. We just crossed 1.1 million downloads on Spotify. So that's a great place to hang out if you like intelligent Black conversations. So anyway, so today I want to talk a little bit about something that crossed my brain today as I was working to get ready for Los Angeles. I'm going to do a Black Wealth training camp in Los Angeles. And it's going to be all about monetizing your platform, turning your skill into profit. And so basically for those of you that have skill, experience, etc., and want to understand how to monetize all that online, I'll be happy to show you. Just go to boycewatkins.com to get more information, or you can just get free stuff from my website. So feel free to go take a look at that. So anyway, so I was thinking about this, right? And I was thinking about how we have broke friends that love to give financial advice. A lot of you are investors. A lot of you are wealth builders. Give me a yes in the chat if you have at least one friend that you've had in your life that was broke as hell, but was always quick to tell you not to invest in the stock market. They had no money in their pocket, but would always tell you not to start their business, was struggling financially, but always had something to say about every single idea that you had. It wasn't going to work. It's not possible. It's not doable. All the other stuff. If anybody else go through that, give me a yes in the chat if you have friends like that, because a lot of us do. A lot of us have friends that unfortunately can become almost like dream killers, right? You know, when you talk about something innovative that solves a problem, they don't believe the problem can be solved. They don't believe the problem can be solved in many cases because they've never solved the problem. Most of your broke friends, unfortunately, they're broken people. They're not just broke, but they're broken. So a lot of times broken people just don't understand the mindset of those who want to heal or those who want to grow. People who are stagnant don't understand the growth mindset. They're not going to appreciate it. In fact, some of them may get mad at you. I don't know if you've ever gone through this, but where you've actually had people that were so miserable that they got mad at you for wanting to not be miserable. Or when they saw you doing better, maybe you had a happy relationship, they just found something negative to say because that's just where they are. And so anyway, one of the things I can tell you is that this is something that it took me a long time to really understand this. It took me a long time to really get, I said, well, wait a minute, why is it that, that I have friends that are supposed to be my friends that are not happy for my success? I remember when I was in college, I had a friend like that. We were both trying to get into law school, and I didn't go to law school, but I did apply. And I got in, and he applied, and he couldn't get into the law school he wanted to get into. I applied to the same law school. I got in the same day. The dean called me personally the very next morning to offer me a full scholarship to attend law school there. I didn't take the offer, but it was kind of an ego booster, right? As a 22-year-old to get an opportunity to go to law school free of charge, right? That's literally the dean. It was the University of Kentucky Law School. The dean literally called me the next morning personally and said, "We'd love to have you here. we'll give you a free ride. You don't have to pay for anything. And I told my boy, like, hey man, yeah, can you believe this? I can't believe they offer this to me. And he was pissed. He was jealous. And I didn't realize till years later that the reason he was so upset was because he had been trying to get into that law school and they wouldn't let him in. And I didn't know this. I thought that if we were friends, he would be happy for me. But I'm here to tell you, I hate to tell you this, but not all your friends are going to be happy for you. Not everybody who claims to love you they may love you, but sometimes your success or your moving forward or you changing your position reminds them that they haven't had that success. It reminds them that they haven't moved forward. It reminds them that they're stuck, right? So unfortunately, some of you have people in your lives who are just stuck, right? And so really, you got to pray for those people. You got to wish them the best and hope that they won't take offense to your success. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. If you'd like to get profit alerts sent to you via text, all you have to do is text the word stock to 31996. Text the word stock to 31996. And also, if you'd like to follow me on my Telegram channel, I'm trying to get off of Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. Just go to drboycetelegram.com. That's drboycetelegram.com. All right. So here's one other thing about broke people that give financial advice that I think you should understand. You guys know in case you don't know my background, I've been a finance professor for a long time. I've been teaching college students for 30 years. I actually taught my first college class in finance 30 years ago, starting about this month, actually, on this campus that I'm on right now. I met my wife. We became friends this week, 30 years ago. So we actually came to Indiana University this week just to celebrate that. And so I'm super excited. Margot says, repeat the number. Yeah, 31996. Type 31996 in the chat. Text the word stock to 31996. I'll send you profit alerts. I'll send you a copy of our $5 a day investing plan. I'll also send you a training I did called How to Make Money Without Working. Well, anyway, I talk about what I do in my background, not because I'm trying to brag or sound like I'm better than anybody else, but I do it because I want to make it clear that I'm not going to apologize for being an educated Black man. I'm not going to apologize for working hard for 12 years to get a PhD. I mean, it took me many years after, I went to college, master's degree, all that stuff. I'm not going to apologize for being good at what I do. And also I state it because I want you to understand why some of the things that I say may not make sense to you. Why some of the things I wrote in my book, which is called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, are just different from what other financial experts might say. It's just because, I've just seen it. I've seen it a lot of things and a lot of different trajectories. And so one of the things I can tell you is that mindset is such a big deal when it comes to money. But the other thing about mindset is that it's fascinating to me how many broke people will be quick to give you financial advice or tell you what to do in terms of your business, or tell you whether you should invest or not, or tell you that the BRICS countries are going to destroy the American economy, so the dollar is going to go to nothing, right? Just that doomsday type stuff that they saw in some news headline where they don't understand the nuances of what they're talking about. I'm not saying they don't know anything. I'm not saying that they're stupid. I'm not saying you have to have a doctorate to have an opinion. What I am saying, though, is that a lot of people have opinions and don't know what the hell they're talking about. And unfortunately, what can happen, though, is that because maybe you don't want to seem like you're being uppity, or because you want to fit in, or because you don't want people to criticize you, you'll go along with the opinions of a dumbass. Like, you'll literally go along and let an idiot influence you. Let me see if this light gets a little bit better. No, I'm leaving it on. It's just extra bright when I'm trying to get the lighting right. But just so you know, when you're doing podcast stuff and you're trying to do a bootleg like me, you can never get your lighting right. So forgive me for that. But anyway, I just want to encourage you, just understand that dumbasses will always be the first ones to run their mouths. Smart people, the smartest people I know are the ones who are a little more measured. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. Smart people, they know enough to know that they don't know everything. Smarter people, more educated people, more thoughtful people are people that will calculate before they open their mouth. A lot of times the people who talk the most are the ones who know the least. They jump out there and their mouth starts running before and then their brain tries to catch up like 10 weeks later, and they're the and it's crazy to me how sometimes the people with the least experience or the least skill or the least knowledge are the ones who have the strongest opinions, the firmest opinions, etc. They have an old saying that says that it's really hard to win an argument with a smart person, but it's impossible to win an argument with an idiot. Right? Impossible to win an argument with an idiot who is stuck on stupid. So don't try to win arguments with these people. My advice to you is walk away. Just walk away because it'll drive you crazy. It'll give you a headache. It'll raise your blood pressure. It'll piss you off. So don't do that. But anyway, one thing that's interesting though is that one way broke people can actually give you good financial advice is because I don't even give you financial advice. I have a PhD, but I don't give financial advice because when I say things, I want you to understand that you have to make your own decisions, right? I can give you advice, I can give you my perspective, information, etc. But that's it, So, for example, I support dozens and dozens of Black-owned businesses, and some of the businesses I've supported were run by people like Julian Gordon. I supported him; he's made a lot of money. I also supported the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and now for whatever reason, people think somehow I was in cahoots with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And I said, look, man, I've been supporting hundreds of Black-owned businesses since the beginning. And I don't understand why you somehow have created a narrative to say that I'm somehow in the books of the Tulsa Fund and getting paid by the Tulsa Fund and all this stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That makes no sense. I don't get paid by them. Never have. That's nonsense. But people will say what they're going to say. So anyway, with that said, though, here's the thing. Idiots can give you good financial advice, or broke people can, in two senses. One, if you really want to understand how to be financially secure, you can look at broke people and really just kind of say, okay, what put you in the position that you're in right now? Right? Like I learned some of my best lessons from uncles and cousins I had who were in terrible situations. A man who done went to prison, who is in the struggle, can teach you a whole lot about life. Because my father would teach me those lessons by showing me what they did and teaching me to do the opposite. And he would talk about his own life mistakes he made, when he dealt with drugs and got in trouble and all that. And he would say, do the opposite of what I did. Don't do what I did. I can tell you from experience that it's painful to make bad choices. It's painful to put yourself in bad situations. It's painful to be on dope and have to get off heroin. It's painful to go through that kind of hell. So somebody who has the experience of suffering from poor choices can sometimes be the best teacher that you have. So, and even if they don't even know that they're your teacher, they may really think they're teaching you one lesson, but really you can learn from them by simply watching what they did to put themselves in that situation and then saying, okay, that's what I don't want to do. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. So when that broke person comes up and tries to give you advice, what I want you to do is I want you to look at their life. I want you to evaluate their financial situation. I want you to assess where they are, how happy they are, how successful they are. Would you want to trade places with that person? And then if the answer is no, I need you to do an autopsy on all of their dead and broken dreams. I need you to do the autopsy on everything they could have been and how all that died because they made choices that sent them in the other direction. And then as you do that autopsy, I want you to take notes in your head. Okay, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, got married too young. Likes to pour bottles out at the club to impress their friends. Will spend money on a pair of Jordans before they'll buy a book. Didn't value education at an early age. And just sort of make notes on that. That's how you can learn to be successful, is by literally analyzing the life of a quote unquote failure. And I don't want to be mean or anything like that. I'm only saying it this way because I want to be honest with you. I care about you. I don't care about them. I'm really trying to just share this perspective in hopes that it will help you. All right. So I'm going to share one more thought. Before I do that, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Also, I'll be in Los Angeles on September 8th and 9th. And I am doing a specialized training I've never done before. And it's called Turn Your Skill into Wealth. And basically, we're going to go through the steps of setting up a platform, monetizing it, all that stuff. We've been able to do this. I didn't get any financial support at all to build anything that I built. But we did it. We must have done a good job, because eventually what happened was our platform got so strong that people were secretly spreading rumors that we were getting financed by the Jews and crazy. It's funny. The internet's full of like weirdos. And anyway, through the course of that, we've been able to reach, we've got about over 500 million views on our different videos. We've been able to get millions of followers between YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. Also, we have been able to give millions of dollars back to the Black community. I don't brag about the money that we give. I don't brag about the money that I make. I think that's all silly and childish and immature. What we do is we quietly go about our work, and we've quietly helped over 10 million people buy their first share of stock, and we've quietly been able to help change the culture. So if you'd like to understand the secret sauce behind that, this is the first time I've ever taught a class on that. So I'll be doing that in Los Angeles. If you'd like to join us, just go to boycewatkins.com. I'll be in LA September 8th and 9th. All right. And then if you want to get a copy of my book or any of my books, I have a Black American Money series. You can go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. All right. So let me finish up the last point. Getting advice, financial advice from idiots or broke ass people, and I only call them idiots and broke ass people because these are the people that don't know nothing but think they know everything. These are the ones who talk first and think second. These are the ones who will be the first one to jump out there with an opinion, but don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's infuriating to anybody who has intelligence. It's absolutely irritating. So here's what I want to say also about broke people who want to give you financial advice. I would almost say this. I think that if a broke person gives you financial advice, not only can you learn from where they are, like you can look at where they are and say, okay, this is what I don't want to do. But also, I would almost say that whatever they tell you to do, you should probably do the opposite, right? You should probably do the opposite. Seriously, what do I mean by that? Well, look, here's one example. I wrote my dissertation on the stock market. I literally wrote a 150-page document that you can find anywhere on the internet. You can go look it up at The Ohio State University on the stock market. I know the history. I've analyzed tons of data. What you do is you're constantly writing computer programs all day long, 10 hours a day for years on all different types of stock market activity, understanding every dynamic that's ever happened in the market. What happens when poor people invest, what happens when big companies are, issue earnings announcements. You go through all kinds of stuff, right? And one thing I can tell you with complete consistency is that the stock market is the number one divider between the haves and the have-nots. If you ever want to know the secret that rich people have that you don't have, it's not a secret. The secret of the secret is that it's not a secret. Do you understand? The secret of the secret is that it's not a secret. It's a secret that's out loud. The secret's easy. They participate in the stock market, and many of us don't. Why don't you participate in the stock market? I want you to reflect on that for a moment, okay? Well, a lot of us don't participate. How many of y'all, give me a yes in the chat, how many of y'all have somebody in your family that ain't never invested in the stock market, but will tell you that the stock market is the devil? How many of y'all got somebody in your family, ain't never made a nickel in the market, but will tell you all day that the market is scammy and you're going to go broke and the market's going to crash and the dollar's going to go to nothing and you're going to lose money? Give me a yes in the chat if you have somebody in your family who does that to you. Well, that's an example of someone who is a broke person who's giving you financial advice. And what I'm telling you is that sometimes the way to learn from that person is to understand, look at their broke ass, look them in the eye, just say, thank you for that information. And then I want you to do the exact opposite of what they tell you to do. The exact opposite of what they tell you to do. Because I can tell you that every piece of research I've ever seen tells me that people who invest consistently in the stock market do far better economically than those who don't. I guess I must be kind of famous because people make up weird stories about me and my wife all the time. I love my wife, beautiful Black woman, smart lady. She reads 22 books a year. She's a therapist and just classy as can be, and absolutely my dream girl. Shout out to smart Black women. But here's what's funny. I saw somebody that made a comment. Again, these idiots that do all the talking. They said the only reason she got with Dr. Boyce is because she wanted to get his money, right? And I was laughing to myself because I said, you don't understand. My wife had money before she married me. She had plenty of money. Like Plies, you know that song, I got plenty of money. She could have sang that song because she had plenty of money. Well, how does she have plenty of money? Well, you know what she did? She invested consistently in the stock market when she was like 22, 23 years old. She maxed out her 401k, like because her daddy told her to do that. She bought a house as early as she possibly could. So she became a homeowner. All of these were basic steps that you do to become a wealthy person in this country. The interesting thing is that she doesn't have a lot of an interest in in the financial stuff. She's a therapist, right? So she helped me create the first ever Black financial therapy department that we have in the Black Business School, where we analyze with the top therapists the psychological barriers that keep Black people from building wealth. So we're on cutting edge on this. We are the leading experts on this topic, or right there at the top. And so that's all we think about is Black people in psychology and supply therapy techniques to economics, right? In a really cool, fun, innovative way. And the thing is that's interesting is that she says that when she hears me talking about the specifics of wealth and investing and all that, it bores her. It really bores her. She's not interested in much of that stuff. So how did this person, pay attention now, how did this person who was born poor, she wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. That's another wealth myth people love to use to excuse their own lack of activity. People will excuse their own choices by making things up, right? So one way that people excuse their own lack of effort is they will make up a story. They'll say, well, the reason you have money is because you were born with money, right? I don't know if anybody else is in that category where you're doing well and everybody assumes that you had it easy your whole life. You ain't never been poor. You ain't never gone through nothing, right? And I get that all the time. And I'm like, no, I started off poorer than you, and my wife started off poorer than you. Right. So what are you talking about? This makes no sense. Right. Well, the thing was, she started off poor. She had zero interest in wealth, but she had wealth at a decently young age. Why? Well, because she did basic stuff. Um, People don't understand. The biggest myth about the stock market is that you have to have all this training and education to do it, or you have to have all this money to do it. That none of that is true. And you don't even need time. You don't need time. You don't need money. You don't need education. You don't need nothing. They literally have trained monkeys to invest in the stock market, and monkeys have more money than people. Monkeys have more money than people. Why? Well, because monkeys don't overthink it. Monkeys just simply, they were throwing darts at a wall and randomly picking stocks, and the monkeys made more money than people who did not invest in the stock market. So what I'm simply saying to you, here's my point that I'm getting to you with, is that when that idiot, or I don't want to say idiot, well, when that broke, well, how about this? When the broke idiots show up and tell you, don't invest and this ain't gonna work, and let me tell you about the stock market and all this other stuff. I would simply just do the opposite of what they do. Because remember, what they chose to do is what got them broke in the first place. So if you listen to their advice and get insights into their thinking, just do the opposite of what they do, and you'll probably find your way to success. The stock market is one easy example. If that person tells you that the stock market's the devil, then I would run to the market, invest consistently. On BoyceWatkins.com, I have something called the $5 a day investing plan, where literally for less money than it costs to buy a Popeye's chicken value meal, you can turn your family from poor to wealthy in less than about 20 years. When I say wealthy, I'm talking about having nearly $100,000 liquid assets for your kids. Anybody who has $100,000 liquid in this country is not poor. Right. So this is easy to do. This is free. It's on my website, BoyceWatkins.com. Feel free to go take a look, or you can also text the word text the word stock, not Boyce. I'm sorry. Text the word stock to 31996. If you text stock to 31996, I'll send it to you. I'm giving this away. This doesn't cost you anything. Okay. So ultimately, I will tell you that your broke friends are not people that you want to imitate, because if a fat guy is giving you health food advice, then you probably shouldn't take it. And I really think that overall, and it sounds mean to say it like this, but this was on my spirit this morning, and this is what led me to have this conversation with you, because I want you to have the courage to follow your own ideas. I know you love those people, and I know you love your family, and you love the traditions and everything else, but Lord Jesus, some of this stuff that we pass down to our kids is just absolutely crazy and chaotic and ignorant. It's ignorant as hell. And I don't apologize for saying none of that. I don't care if you think I'm uppity. I don't care if you think I'm being a snob. If you can't look at the problems in the culture and see those problems in the culture, then perhaps you could be the problem in the culture. And so just be smart. Don't be scared. Keep it moving. All right. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you have not done that yet. Also, I'll be in Los Angeles on September 8th and 9th. If you'd like to join us, just visit BoyceWatkins.com and you can get more information there. My wife's books and my books also are at drboycebooks.com. So if you want to take a look at my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, or my series called Black American Money that I wrote when I was on the faculty at Syracuse, just go to drboycebooks.com. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care now. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.